name of the company, Atomy. That me on the end, it's actually for beauty. That's me in Korean. That's what it actually means. So what we want to show today, what's really important whenever you go into any kind of business venture, the leaders behind the company. That's really, really important. We're going to show you why his goals and his projections. Also the products. If you do not have a really, really secure product, obviously you're going to be in business. And the marketing and sustainability is really important as well. And I'm going to show you as we go along. And the company. So our CEO of the company is Mr. Hangil Park. These are his credentials. But what I really, really am impressed with him is his values of economy. So what he's trying to create an ecosystem where everyone is making $10,000 a month. He feels that if somebody makes $10 million, it does nothing for the economy. But if I have 100,000 people making $10,000 a month, they would go out and they would spend the money and they would buy cars and they would go to the restaurants. That would do something for the economy. So that's the reason why he put a maximum on how much money you can make. There's people in Amway that make $20 million a year. He's saying the most you should need, and anybody else should need, is $100,000 a month. So if you guys agree that that's enough, then we can proceed. I haven't had anybody that tells me, no, that's too little. But I think we can all survive right on $100,000 a month. So that is the maximum you want. But what is his goal? He wants hundreds of thousands of people making $10,000 a month. And I'm going to show you how he created the system. The second half of our leaders is Dr. Lee. Now, Dr. Lee has one big thing that I was impressed with, was that he believes that the body can cure itself. So if you guys believe that the body can cure itself, then you can understand what he's coming from. He believes that if you can ingest the body with enough oxygen and help the white blood cells, it can fix anything, including cancer. And we'll prove it to you because through the nuclear fusion technology they actually had nuclear power plants in Korea. And in Korea, unfortunately, all their best scientists and their researchers were all getting cancer. So it took Dr. Lee 8 years. They're all cancer-free now. So I'm going to show you what he created. Now, Colmar is another important aspect. You got Dr. Lee and you got Mr. Park creating the product, but Colmar is the one who actually manufactures the product. So you guys heard of Lancome. They actually produce 20% of all cosmetics made in the whole world. So they're almost 100 years old. It's a U.S. company. So you know the manufacturing is really, really good. So through, you have Dr. Lee, you have the Colmar, the Korean part is Dr. Lee, and the R&D is actually Mr. Park. They actually created Atomy. So these are the countries that we currently have. They started in Korea, of course. They went to the United States. They went to Japan and Canada. And then they went to Taiwan. Taiwan, in 1 year, has surpassed the U.S. The Chinese people, I guess they really know how to make money. Now, also what you're missing here is Singapore. Singapore became active, and Cambodia just became active. Cambodia signed up 10,000 people in 1 month, in their first month, last month. 10,000 people. So the reason why Kelly and I are doing this business is because of this. The countries that are coming up. We all know that if you become the first person to enter a country and develop your company, you have the potential to make some serious money. So we know, of course, who's coming next? Philippines in April. We also know that another big one is going to be Malaysia. Malaysia will be coming up in May. In June, Thailand, followed by Vietnam in October. Then next January is going to be Mexico. So it's going to be 35 new countries coming up in the next 3 to 5 years, including China, Russia, Brazil, Chile. So we're going to have all these opportunities to become the first. So we're going to practice being the first in the Philippines. But of course, if we don't do well, we just go, who's next? Right? We're going to right after, Malaysia's next. Well, if that doesn't work, then we go right on to Thailand. And then we go to Mexico. We just got to get one, right? And we only can make 100,000 a month. So we might be done after the Philippines is over. Right? So we're not greedy, right? So this is their #1 product, HemoHem. So Hemo stands for hemoglobin, which is your blood. And Hem stands for your immune system. It's not him and her, like I explained earlier. This is for everybody. There is no Hemo her. Okay, it's HemoHem. This is what it looks like. You see in that little glass? It's contaminated like yogurt. It comes in these little packets. So each box contains 6 packets. So you get 60 packets in a box. Now another thing, since we're on this, that I really like about Mr. Park, he really, really believes that he wants to give the best quality at the best price. So what does that really mean? When they first started Hemohem, there was only 35 packets in a box. Same price, $159. Sold it to members for $88. But as they started getting bigger and bigger, the volume grew, it gets cheaper to make. So what do most companies normally do, right? You're producing more, it's getting cheaper, we're making more profit. Usually US companies, for sure, they just keep it. What he decided was, no, we're going to give it back to the consumer. So from 35 packets, it went to 40. We make more now. Same price, but we're making more, it's getting cheaper. Well, let's give it 45. Let's give them 50. Let's give them 55. So now we keep making more and more 60. So next month it might be 65. But he's giving it back. He never increased the price once. So I asked them, how come they never had a price increase? They said, I don't know, but the bottles keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So he's giving back to the people because his number one goal, he's not afraid of places like Amway. He's after Walmart. He believes to attain sustainability in a company, you have to have the best product, but you also have the best price. So if we're cheaper than Walmart and we're giving products that are better than Walmart, we have sustainability. Then we can go into business. So that's what he's trying to do. That is his ultimate goal. So this is a lot of things about Hemohem. It took 8 years. It's approved by the US FDA. So we'll go over that again in a little bit. But it's already patented. These are the big things. You guys can read about it later on. We're going to go a little bit quick here. But the NK cell activity is very, very important. So the NK cell is the one that actually is produced by your bones. It's really, really a really important thing for your cancer cells. So what he believes, if we can increase your red blood cells, so you can see before on the left, and after you take the Hemohem on the right, 5 times more, which means now your body has 5 times more oxygen. So if you look on the next slide, it shows on the before again on the white blood cells and after. So it's 5 times more white blood cells. So now you got 5 times more white, 5 times more red blood cells. Now your body can defend itself. So what he's producing now is this Hemohem, which has been proven to be 17 times stronger than ginseng. Ginseng was a really big thing. I remember I read ginseng. Everybody in my family was taking it, and it was like supposed to be this big drug. Well, Hemohem is 17 times stronger. Now, if you look on this poor mouse, on the left side, they actually put a cancerous tumor in him. And after 12 days of injecting the mouse with the Hemohem, the cancer is gone. We have to be very, very careful what we say in America, okay? Because unfortunately in America, they don't want to cure cancer. Callie's daughter is a very good example. She wanted to be an oncologist from when she was 8 years old. She studied really hard. She was valedictorian. She got a scholarship to go to Yale University. She was all right into it. Then she found out when she went to actually courses about it. No, the doctors, they actually have a quota of how much prescriptions they have to write. So you're getting a drug if you want it or not. And she said there's no research on the cure. There's research on the treatment. So she got so disillusioned, she wants to go now move to China because China is trying to find the cure. But she said China is too polluted. She said she couldn't see down the street. So I'm going to explain a little bit more about this. Because what they did was in 2006, they came to the U.S. and they said, we want to introduce the anti-cancer drug to help everybody in the U.S. And what do you think the U.S. did? They said, forget about it. It's not going to happen. You're not bringing this here. So the U.S., unfortunately, kicked it out. So after me being very smart in 2009, they came back and they said, you know what? This is just a dietary supplement. Same exact ingredients, same results. But now, because it's a dietary supplement, they say, okay, now you can bring it into the U.S. How stupid is that? Right? So if we actually said that this thing cures cancer, they would kick us out. We would get into serious trouble. So we cannot say that in the United States. However, if you look in the Korean patent and everything, it says right there, anti-cancer. But if you look at the bottom, under the US FDA approval, herbal composition for improving anti-cancer activity. Hello, I mean, it's the same drug, right? Everywhere else we can see it cures cancer, but here we cannot. So I'll give you some live things. We have a dealer at the Wynn. He had a huge cancerous scab on his leg. And then so, I don't know why he showed it to me, but it was all pussy. It was live sore. It was nasty, right? So I said, "Why are you showing me that?" He goes, "I heard you got something that can help me." He doesn't want to go to chemo because he told me, this is my oncologist told me, they're gonna cut it out. They're gonna take a graft from his butt and they're gonna put it on his leg. And he said, "I don't want my ass on my leg." So he said, "Can you help me?" So I gave him the Hemoham. He was taking 5 a day for almost 6 weeks. Then he came back and he showed me it was a scab. And from this big, it came to a scab only about 3 inches across. He told me he went to this oncologist the day before, and he asked the oncologist, "Can you check to see if I still have cancer?" So they checked it and it said, "No more. It's dead." So now the oncologist asked him, "What did you do?" He said, "I took care of it naturally." And the oncologist said, "Get out." He said, "Don't tell people about what you're doing because it's dangerous." So it is, right? Because you cannot tell people, people ask me all the time, "I had this kind of cancer." I cannot tell them it's going to work because it's not going to work for everybody. Everybody's different, We have somebody who had type 2 diabetes. Now, type 1 diabetes we cannot fix. That's something that's physically wrong with you. But type 2 diabetes is where it's because of what you eat. So you have basically your pancreas is not creating insulin because it's overloaded of too much sugar and the things you eat. So he took it for 5 months now, and then he takes no more insulin. His blood stabilized, his sugar levels are clean now, and he said no more insulin because of just taking. But you gotta take more. Now we have another lady. She had a thyroid problem. The thyroid is the one that creates hormones for the women. So she had to take these hormone pills, and then because these hormone pills creates cancer, she wanted to get off of it. So we gave this to her, so she was taking 2 a day. In 1 month, she went to see her doctor. The doctor said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because instead of 2 pills, now take 1 a day." Now 3 months later, she goes back to her doctor again. She goes, "Your blood is getting really, really good. Instead of 1 pill, take half of it." So she can't wait to go back to her doctor again, right? And she's thinking in 3 months, the doctor said, "You don't have to take this pill tomorrow." So is it creating hormones? We don't really know, but we know this. We have a lot of women that have come to me that are in that menopause age. I have a 58-year-old lady that tells me, "I haven't had my period in like 8 years. And then now I got my period again. What's going on?" So I told her, "Well, it's stabilizing your blood." She goes, "Does that mean I can have a baby?" I said, "You better go see your doctor because that's what ovulation is, right? You can probably have a baby." She goes, "I don't want no baby." And she goes, "I was happy when I didn't have my period again." But I tell her, what you got to understand is that if it's creating hormones to make you have the ability to have a baby, that means you're getting younger, right? Because when you start producing hormones, your body's aging. You're in the last stage of life. But if it's not creating hormones again, guess what? You're getting younger. And she gets so happy, right? So it's just the way you look at it, So, but everybody's different. My example was I took it for 2 a day for the first 3 days. I got a lot of arthritis. I have gout. So I have arthritic pain in my thumb, on my elbow, on my knee, on my leg. So it basically stops inflammation. So inflammation is the cause of a lot of pain. Back pain, all kind of headache pain and whatnot. So it basically in 3 days, I have no more pain. For the first time in like over 10 years. Usually always someplace hurts. The body can only handle one, but it always one. So then I stopped. After 2 days, my pain came back. So it's not curing the problem, right? It's only stopping the inflammation, which is creating the pain. So I take it again, boom, 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 2 a day for 3 days. No more pain again. I went, "Man, we got something." And then I signed up. That's how I signed up the account. I told her, I can help a lot of people. So that's what we did at the Win, right? We gave, I don't know how many people this stuff, and everybody's a little bit different. The women take longer. Callie has a torn ligament in her shoulder. She couldn't lift her arm up from dealing too many years. So the doctor gave her cortisone shots. They worked for a while. The next year she went back, the shot doesn't work anymore. So he said, "You have to get surgery." She said, "I don't want surgery." So I told her, "Can you take the Hemoham thing?" She took it 2 a day, but it took her 3 weeks. It took me 3 days. It took her 3 weeks. After her period got stabilized, she got a period again because she was like off and on. Now her period again is all consistent, same, but regular now, every month. But then she noticed, "You know what, I got no pain." So she goes, "I don't have to have surgery." I said, "Honey, it didn't fix the torn ligament is still there, right? So eventually you should get surgery because they have to tie it back on, you know. But she says